Harry's Wife, Part 104.83. World exclusive. They love vegetables. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You are well acquainted by now with the proposition that because of Harry's wife's continuing need to assert control, draw fuel from people, and of course to continue to gain those character traits and residual benefits, it is necessary for her to continue to push out those PR puff pieces. You're also aware that there is a stable of publications that are quite content to accept the PR dollars that are put forward, so long as they continue to come forward, and in return they will continue to pump out the bilge of the beige variety. These include, of course, Tatler's, Harper's Bazaar, People.com, The Daily Mirror, Town and Country, People.com, and so forth. Cosmopolitan, Elle, Marie Claire are also known to partake in the Sussex dollar as part of this propaganda machinery. Well, also, as I explained to you last time, that there is a bunker somewhere in the Monty Shitshow area where a poor hapless individual who's recently been appointed as head of the Sussex's PR stands there with a magic wheel which spins, which determines which PR puff piece publication is going to have the heavy burden of coming up with some more crap in order to make the Sussexes seem relatable and interesting. As always, your glorious narrator is on hand to allow you to access the spinning of the wheel firsthand. Yes, the outcome, according to the spinning wheel of PR puffery publication, is Town and Country Mag. An article by Emily Burak tells us, Harry's wife says her kids love vegetables. Now, perhaps that's as a consequence of Archie and Lily confusing the relatively catatonic state of their father when he's been smoking a fat one, but I think they're talking about the ones which are good for you. Yes, as some of you might have been somewhat perturbed at the prospect of NATO's Article 5 being triggered as a consequence of a suspected Russian missile landing in Poland, as it transpires it's more likely to have been that of Ukrainian air defence. But whilst you were wondering, is there going to be an escalation? How will the markets react to this? Did I leave the iron on? Those thoughts clearly are minor in nature and are completely dwarfed by the groundbreaking, earth-shattering, world-exclusive information that Harry's wife tells us that her kids love vegetables. The newest episode of Harry's wife's podcrap, Arsey Wipes, was all about activism, or as I pointed out yesterday, inactivism. She spoke with Broad City creator Ilana Glazer about activism in comedy. Actress Jamila Jamil about her repeated claiming that she was unwell and injured. Actress Jamila Jamil about her advocacy for women's rights, although seemed to have missed asking her about hounding Caroline Flack, who then committed suicide, and also with regard to the pelters that she throws at the royal family. But of course, seeing as Jamila Jamil is part of the coterie, she's going to gloss over those aspects of her character deficiencies. But also Iranian American actress Shora Aghdashloo about what's happening in Iran. While the episode's conversation called to attention numerous critical issues, this piece of PR bumfluffery is going to focus on some utter adenine bollocks, namely a sweet tidbit about her family, which was buried in the show's opening. When speaking with Glazer, Harry's wife talks about how Broad City was quietly an activist show. I'd have thought that generally with activism, it's about being quite noisy, not necessarily in volume, although that's often the case, where people are walking along a street with a megaphone shouting, "What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now." They make a noise through prominence, through social media posts, through writing letters, through lobbying people. So I'm not really sure if anything's much use by being a quiet activist show. Nevertheless, what that really smacks of is that Broad City isn't an activist show, but Harry's wife wants to make it one, and therefore determines that it's quiet, that it's subtle. A little bit like in the way that she thinks that archetypes means stereotypes, and that she thinks audacious means presumptuous, and that she thinks that guttural means visceral. The article continues. As she says, some of the ways that your work is described, it's this feminism that's sort of tucked under the layers. If we were playing bullshit bingo, you'd already be one ahead. And there's something about that that's incredible. And at the same time, you know, like I say it, and you'll start saying it too, as your little one gets older. I thought there were two children. Perhaps she's talking about the other person's child. But you could do it with politics. Hide the vegetables. What on fucking earth does that mean? But you could do it with politics. Hide the vegetables. What's that? Getting rid of the shadow cabinet? I'm not sure. What on earth are you talking about? So you don't realise the nutritional value that's tucked in that meal. Hide the vegetables for your kids. Under what? Pizza? Thankfully, my kids love vegetables. Well, they would do. They are a shining example of all that is good and goodness in the world, aren't they? But it's the same idea, like. So that's two likes in the matter of a couple of sentences. And at the flip side, why would we have to have the feminism layered in? Let me just read that back to you without my asides. Some of the ways that your work is described, it's this feminism that's sort of tucked under the layers. And there's something about that that's incredible. And at the same time, you know, like I say it and you'll start saying it too, as your little one gets older, but you could do it with politics, hide the vegetables. So you don't realise the nutritional value that's tucked in that meal, hide the vegetables for your kids. Thankfully, my kids love vegetables, but it's the same idea like. And at the flip side, why would we have to have the feminism layered in? If you know what she meant with any of that word salad, feel free to email me, because you're a better person than I am, Gunga Din. What a load of errant bollocks. Absolute trash. Nevertheless, it seems like one of the Jawa's droids is malfunctioning, because it's not talking correctly. The article continues. There you have it. Archie 3 and Lilibet 1 love vegetables. This isn't the first time that Harry's wife has shared about her home life on her podcast. A few episodes ago, she shared that Lily has started walking. Unlike, of course, no other children have ever done that. The Sussexes have been out of the public eye recently. You wouldn't think it, given the amount of crap that turns up in the press. Their last public appearance together was during a low-key date night at Duchess, or as some people wonder whether it actually happened or not. However, this past Friday, Prince Harry visited Pearl Harbor in Honolulu, Hawaii, to tour the USS Arizona Memorial in a personal capacity, as opposed to touring it in an avatar capacity, according to People. And that's your lot. So, one sentence, thankfully, my kids love vegetables, then has to become the basis of a short article appearing in Town and Country. Once again, this reinforces the necessity that Harry's wife has to share the mundanities of her life with everybody by believing that she's important, that she has something meaningful to say, that she has various things that she wants to share with the world that we should all be listening to. She is, of course, boring, banal, beige, and, to many of you, increasingly bonkers with this kind of arrant nonsense that she sprays everywhere. The fact is that telling us about her children enjoying vegetables is dull. It's of no interest whatsoever, but it shows the clear level of delusion by which she operates, where she has to ensure that we are told about every aspect of her life, including the fact that the children eat their vegetables, trying to make out that they're something special because, of course, that achievement, as there being an extension of her, means that she, of course, is an ultra special and brilliant mother. This is yet more PR bumfluffery, twat-waffery of the highest order, and unfortunately, it just seems to be continuing. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.